can't. Because if we were to remember every feeling we've ever had, we couldn't ever have enough space in the mind to take in anything new. We've had millions or billions of them. They've all come and gone. And strangely enough, some of them were very unpleasant, either sensation or emotion. And nobody wants them, and yet they came. How come we call them mine? If they're really mine, don't we have any jurisdiction over them? If this clock is mine, I have the jurisdiction over it to either throw it away, give it away, keep it, break it. I can do with it what I like. It's mine. What about feelings? Can I actually do with them what I like? Or do they keep arising and ceasing? Pleasant, unpleasant, neutral. Sensations or emotions. And sometimes they're so unpleasant that they become quite a burden. And we identify with them. All this can be used in the meditation as meditative practice, because it brings an insight, or at least the beginning of an insight, into our deluded and faulty thinking, which is the cause for every human problem that has ever existed or will ever exist, is existing now. The delusion which is ours is the cause for every discomfort in the mind that can possibly arise. So if the mind has a resistance to the calm aspect of meditation, it's not a lost cause, nor is it a lost meditation hour. It's nothing of the sort. All we need to do is direct the mind that it uses the time profitably, that it thinks about that which can help it to gain access to a different way of understanding, to an opening which creates the loss of, eventually, the loss of that self-illusion, and brings with it a totality feeling. So when the concentration, which is one-pointed, does not happen, please don't think that you can't meditate. That's only one direction. The other direction is insight. A person who is very analytically minded will be interested in examining the aspect of substancelessness or corelessness, which means that we investigate, where does this idea of me arise from? How did we get it? Where does it sit? Which part says me? Which part screams I am? Obviously it's the mind that's doing it, but on what is it basing this particular thought process? If we keep on examining all that we know about ourselves, which will give us an insight what we consist of, we won't find any part that says, this is me. And yet, We're all concerned with that. In order to gain insight, the Buddha recommended that we use the 5 khandhas, the 5 aggregates. Khandhas is Pali, skandhas is Sanskrit, aggregates is English. Still doesn't mean anything, does it? The 5 heaps of which we consist, which are the parts that make our makeup. Now he said to investigate these 5 and to find out if there's anything else except those 5. And then, having done so, examine whether there's anything within those 5 that has any aspect which is individual, which says it's mine, because it can be kept. If it's mine, it has to be able to stick around, because me seems to be around all the time. We wake up in the morning and that's me. We walk around, it's me. We eat, we drink, we sleep, it's always me. So if there's anything within those 5 aspects that remains, so that we can actually point to it and say, aha, I found it, that's me. Now these 5, first one is the body. Insight meditation can be directed towards the body very usefully and profitably. One of the ways of doing it is to take the body apart into its bits and pieces and see whether that's really me. A way to do that is to pretend you've got a zipper in front. Unzip it and take out all the bits and pieces and lay them out in front of you. Everybody knows approximately what we consist of. We have kidneys, gallbladder, heart, lungs, blood, bones. We have bile. We have intestines. All right, take them all out and put them in front of you. And then have a look and see which one is me. And if you've had the misfortune to need a spare part, was it you before it got in there, or is it you now after it got in there? Obviously, none of that's me. So then, you take the whole mess and put it inside again and close the zipper up. And then it's me. How come? The Buddha compared this to a cart. In those days, they didn't have motor cars, so he was using a cart. He says, first you have wheels, spokes, you have sides and the brake, and you have an axle, and when all these pieces are there, and then when you put it all together, all of a sudden it's called cart. Where's the cart? It's all consisting of those pieces. And the same, he said, applies to us. Why do we call it me all of a sudden? So we'll have a look. Another good bit about the body is, for instance, you look at your hair, for instance, that's my hair, isn't it? Now you snip off a bit of that and throw it in the wastebasket. So it used to be mine, but now it's nothing. It's just, rubbish. Or the same with nails. Cut off a bit. And what is it? Just rubbish, needs to be picked up and thrown away. Or teeth. This is an insight meditation. This is suitable for the mind that is not able to be one-pointed on the meditation subject to become calm, and therefore can use the time, the meditation time, in order to gain some insight into the realities which are totally different from the way we usually look at things. The Buddha's Dhamma, the Buddha's teaching, is 180 degrees turned around. It's all quite different from the way we usually look at things. So having looked at this body in that manner, we can also recollect in our mind what we used to look like. Maybe we can remember some old photos that we have at home or that our mothers have at home, and where our name is written underneath the photo, but otherwise it's unrecognizable. Now that was me. And now we look in the mirror and this is me. And what happened in between? 1 million different me's, all looking differently. The Buddha said that the continuity overshadows impermanence, and therefore we're not aware of it. Also because it's not very comfortable. It doesn't seem safe and secure. And because of the continuity of this body continuously first growing and then getting older, and some memory of it existing, we forget that there is actually nobody there except a phenomena. It is, in this case, the body, which constantly changes. It never remains the same. If it were not to constantly change, we'd be dead. Because this constant change is also the activity of our cells, which are coming together and falling apart, just like the whole universe does. We can't see it. It's too subtle for us to see it with our physical eye. But can we really trust our physical eyes? We can't even look around the next corner. We can only look straight ahead. We can't look beyond the horizon. We can't see ultraviolet light. Our physical eyes are not the best medium to find truth. Our mind can find truth. It's capable of it. And the Buddha gave every possible indication where to look for it. So one of the aspects of insight meditation is this investigation into the body, and to see whether we can actually truthfully say that there's something in there, any part of it, that we could call me because it has remained the way it always was. Has never changed. And then we have 4 parts of mind. And we can investigate these. I've already mentioned 2. The first one, which I mentioned, our thought process. Our thought process, which we can notice very clearly in meditation. First of all, we don't actually want it, and it's arising. So how come this is me?